Rick and Morty is vindicated. Justin Roiland coming out with big news after charges have been dropped. From Justin Roiland. I've always known that these claims were false, and I have never had any doubts in this they would come. I'm thankful that the case has been dismissed, but at the same time, I'm deeply shaken by the horrible lies that were reported about me during this process. Most of all, I'm disappointed that so many people were quick to judge without knowing the facts, based solely on the word of an embittered ex trying to bypass due process and get me and have me canceled. May have succeeded, even partially, is shameful. However, now that the legal case has ended, I'm determined to move forward and focus on my creative project and restoring my good name. This came out a couple days ago by Justin Roiland himself. I know I covered this and I was quite disappointed to hear that there was these charges and everything going on. And I know Roiland has had some questionable things in his past, but he's being vindicated. Hopefully, this means Adult Swim will bring him back on board the Rick and Morty train. I'm going to go for our local here. Global News reporting Justin Roiland slams horrible lies after domestic violence charges drop. California prosecutors have dismissed felony domestic violence charges against Roiland, co-creator for the animated comedy show Rick and Morty, almost 2 months after he was dropped from the show. We're dismissed the charges today because there was insufficient evidence to prove the case beyond reasonable doubt, said Orange County District Attorney spokeswoman Kimberly Eds on Wednesday. Roiland, 43, was facing one felony count of domestic battery with corporeal injury and one felony count of false imprisonment by menace, violence, fraud, or deceit in connection to an alleged January 2020 incident involving a former girlfriend. And I am relieved to see this. I was very disappointed with this. I know when I put out my video, I did it very hastily, and I put it out there and I was like, oh, this sucks. Like, sometimes the best comedies come from the most sick and twisted minds, but ultimately this really sucks and it just didn't sit completely right. I'm glad he has had everything dropped at this case, and it seems just that it was an X. And this is a ongoing story when we have the Me Too movement and everything around it. False allegations come out time and time again, but today it seems the truth is coming out and it seems everything's being dropped, but this doesn't mean that they're not going to try again. These cases tend to go up and down. If you look at the Johnny Depp situation, where a lot of it came out in his day of court, and everything that came out was in Johnny Depp's favor. It was unbelievable how far it went, even to the point where the UK justice system, the United Kingdom justice system, found him. They did charge him with some stuff, but it was on a very minor account. Ultimately, I think some of that was there's things in a relationship that just doesn't go well on both sides, but the guy had his finger cut off in that case. You could tell he was being abused, and it's vindicated by Johnny Depp at this case. I hope Justin Roiland does file suit back for damages that happened, and I hope Adult Swim is in talks with him to bring him back under their wing for Rick and Morty. We've seen a lot of it ultimately, and it sounds like Justin Roiland was mostly at this point just the voice of Rick and Morty, and not so much the creator or the writer of the stories. And it sounded like it went to the writers. So really, I think they could bring him back and just say, listen, I'm sorry. It's good to see that these things have worked itself out of the courts. It's no longer there. Let's bring him back. Now, it was brought into question. There was a lot of people that were up in arms, saying at Adult Swim, when these things happen, the rumors start to fly and people get bit into that rumor mill and things go everywhere, and it kind of exploded in that sense. I know there was some saying he was not fun to work with, when in a lot of these cases they are, and it's just telling of stories that just you look back on, well, was this actually what was going on, or was it something else? You know, and I gotta say, this means the calendar I have, I can still have it up. I never took it down, but it's something that I think, you know, there was things that when I went through this, I was like, oh, this doesn't make sense for this month, but whatever. And that is stuff that's going on for Justin Roiland. I hope things really do settle down. Adult Swim, bring Justin Roiland back, because I think that's where we got to go now. You bring him back. He's been all the charges have been dropped. He didn't get his day in court to dispute it, but it's all been dropped. There's no reason, and they said there's was no story here. So it's very interesting in that sense. So in order for charges to go, that means his girlfriend, ex-girlfriend at the time, told the police, yeah, I want to press charges. And then they investigated it, of course, because they're pressing charges. They arrest him. And through that investigation, they went, well, there's nothing here. There's nothing here. We can't charge him with anything. We can't hold him with anything. So Adult Swim, I think you need to take the step back a little bit and bring Justin Roiland back, because that's the only right thing to do at this point. Hopefully this doesn't take another wild turn and Justin Roiland continues to be exonerated by the lack of evidence there was to bring against him. Anyway, this has been a little bit of a quick one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm your proud Canadian Phoenix Sinner Shadow, signing off here. I will see you all next time.